Class 10, History and Civics, Chapter The Indian National Movement, the First War of Independence, the Great Uprising of 1857. Let's begin with the chapter. The process of the British conquest of India and the consolidation of British rule was accompanied by resentment among the Indians. The popular discontent and hatred against the East India Company's administration and foreign rule gained strength. The discontent burst forth into a mighty popular revolt in 1857, though it started as a mutiny of sepoys at Meerut on 10th May 1857. The revolt soon engulfed the whole of North India and shook the very foundation of the British rule in India. But it was not the first such revolt. From time to time, different groups of Indians, farmers, tribal groups and soldiers had risen in against revolt their ruthless oppression by the British. Causes of the Great Uprising of 1857. The Great Uprising of 1857 was not the result of any one particular cause. To understand these causes, we have to study the history of the preceding century. The reason is that these causes were as old as the British rule in India. Causes of the Great Uprising of 1857. Political causes. The doctrine of lapse had caused Indian territories to be annexed by the English, and this angered the Indians. Disrespect shown to Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah was intolerable for the Indians. Ill treatment of Nana Sahib and Rani of Jhansi, annexation of Awadh and disbanding of armies of annexed states agitated the people and soldiers who wanted to revenge. Other princes were suspicious of the English and had observed how the Indians were ill-treated. Their arrogance and insults made the princes angry. They wanted to get rid of the English. Social and religious causes. The English adopted forceful and violent methods to spread Christianity. They insulted Islam and Hinduism. When the English abolished sati, the Hindus saw this as an interference in their religious affairs. The Brahmins and the Maulvis were upset when Western culture was introduced and their role and influence in society declined. Fear and suspicion was aroused by the introduction of telegraphs and railways. Tax levied on religious sites and the insulting attitude of the English added fuel to fire. Unrest and discontent was rising in the hearts of the Indians. Economic causes. Exploiting economic resources and subordinating Indian economy to the interests of British trade and industry led to the decline of Indian industry. Handicrafts and artisans were not cared for and they collapsed. Jagirdars and zamindars were unhappy when the English resumed the tax-free lands and confiscated jagirs. The annexation of Awadh and disbanding of its army made the soldiers angry, and the zamindars and talukdars were disturbed when the lands were annexed. This led to unemployment and starvation. Soon the educated Indians were jobless too, as only the English got high posts and good salaries. Lack of attention to trade and industry led to their decline. Poverty and famine were common. All this turned the people against the English. Military causes. Indian sepoys had aided the British in setting up their empire in India, but they never got their due. They were ill-paid and ill-treated. The General Service Enlistment Act forced Indian sepoys to be sent to fight even on an overseas front. The sepoys opposed this act. When the English lost the Afghan war, the Indian sepoys thought that the English were not invincible, as they were more in number compared to the English soldiers. They grew confident of revolting and winning. As the English soldiers went to fight the Crimean War, they were less in number and weak in the British Indian Army. The rumor that the 100-year-old British rule would soon end also encouraged soldiers. Here ends this chapter.